You know, in today's business world, the warehouse has become so much more than just a big box to store things. We're going to dive into how it's been totally reimagined, from just another expense on a spreadsheet to a powerful strategic tool that can give a company a serious competitive edge.
So think about the last thing you bought online. You find it, you click a button, and boom. Maybe the very next day, a package just shows up on your doorstep. It kind of feels like magic, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about the incredible, complex journey that product takes to get to you that fast?
Well, that speed, that magic, it's all orchestrated from inside the modern warehouse. This isn't some dusty, forgotten storeroom anymore. We're talking about a high-tech, fast-paced engine built for one thing: rapid fulfillment. It is the absolute heart of our on-demand economy.
Okay, first up, let's look at the blueprint. We're talking about design and layout. To really understand how this engine works, we've got to start with its architectural plan for success.
Now, it's so important that we get these two terms straight because they're not the same thing. Warehouse design, that's the big picture strategy. It's about planning the entire building for maximum efficiency. Then you have layout. That's the tactical, on-the-ground execution, the specific arrangement of everything inside that building. You have to remember, you could have the most brilliant design in the world, but a sloppy layout will completely wreck it.
So, what's the goal here? What are we actually trying to achieve with a great design? Well, it really boils down to four core objectives. First, you have to maximize the use of the entire building cube. And I don't just mean the floor space. You have to think vertically, all the way to the ceiling. Second, you've got to optimize material flow, making sure goods move in a smooth, logical path. Third, accessibility. This is huge. You need to be able to grab any product you want without having to move 10 other things out of the way first. And finally, none of that matters if you don't have a layout that keeps your people and your products safe and secure. That's non-negotiable.
Okay, before we go any deeper, let's get a key piece of industry jargon out of the way. You're going to see this everywhere. SKU. It stands for Stock Keeping Unit. A SKU is just a unique code for every single distinct item. So think about a t-shirt. If it comes in, say, 5 sizes and 6 different colors, that one t-shirt style is actually 30 different SKUs. And the central challenge of any modern warehouse is managing thousands or even millions of these SKUs.
So when it comes to layout, most warehouses follow one of 3 main patterns. The most common by far is the U-shaped flow. This is where your receiving docks and your shipping docks are on the same side of the building. And this setup is incredibly efficient. You can share your staff and your equipment, like forklifts, between inbound and outbound operations. It's also perfectly set up for something called cross-docking, which is a process where goods come in and go right back out with almost no storage time at all.
Next, you have the I-shaped, or what they call a through flow. Here, receiving is at one end of the building and shipping is at the complete opposite end. This creates a really nice, straight path, almost like an assembly line. It's fantastic for minimizing congestion and is absolutely ideal for high-volume operations. Think of a courier facility, where everything is about speed.
And finally, there's the L-shaped flow, where your docks are on 2 adjacent walls. You know, sometimes this layout is just dictated by the shape of the building or the lot it's on. But it can also be a strategic choice, maybe to separate different kinds of truck traffic for security or operational reasons.
All right, section 2, the scale. We've got our blueprint. Now let's talk about how big these places are and how we store everything inside.
I want you to take a good look at this number, 85%. This number is one of the single most important rules of thumb in the entire world of warehouse management.
It's called the 85% rule. Basically, industry best practice says you should never let your warehouse get more than 85% full. Now, why is that? It seems wasteful, right? But that last 15% isn't wasted space at all. It's your breathing room. It's the flexibility you absolutely need to handle new shipments, process returns, and deal with unexpected surges in demand. So here's the paradox. To be truly efficient, you have to plan to have empty space.
So how do we physically store all the goods? Well, a manager has to choose the right system based on a critical trade-off. On one hand, you have something like selective racking, which gives you 100% access to every single pallet. Super flexible, but it takes up a lot of space. On the other hand, you have high-density systems like drive-in racking that pack things in tight but limit accessibility. The right choice often comes down to inventory rotation. If you're dealing with groceries or anything perishable, you need a first-in, first-out or FIFO system like pallet flow. For stuff that doesn't expire, a last-in, first-out or LIFO system might work just fine.
And it's not just about the racks. There's also storage policy. With dedicated storage, every SKU gets its own permanent address.
It's simple, and pickers can learn the layout quickly, but it's pretty inefficient because you'll have empty slots all over the place. The alternative is random storage, sometimes called chaotic storage, where an incoming product goes into any available open spot. This method is way more efficient at using space, but it would be totally impossible to manage without a powerful warehouse management system, or WMS, tracking every single item in real time.
Okay, Section 3, Lessons from the Giants. Let's see how the biggest names in the game, Walmart and Amazon, put these principles into practice to completely dominate the market.
Walmart absolutely revolutionized logistics with its mastery of cross-docking. The process itself sounds deceptively simple. Goods arrive from a supplier, they're immediately sorted and consolidated for specific stores, then they're loaded right onto outbound trucks, often shipping out in less than 24 hours. The key here is they bypass the storage function almost entirely.
And here's where we see the direct link between what happens in the warehouse and the company's overall business strategy. This quote says it all. By focusing on the velocity of products moving through the building, instead of just storing them, Walmart cuts its costs dramatically. And those savings, they get passed directly to you, the consumer. That's the foundation of their everyday low prices promise. Now let's switch gears and look at Amazon. If Walmart's strategy is all about cutting costs through brilliant processes, Amazon's is all about one thing: maximum speed powered by technology. Their fulfillment centers are engineered from the ground up to process orders faster than anybody else, and they do it by deeply integrating robotics and data analytics into every single step.
Take a look at this number, 40%. This single metric really highlights the incredible power of the system Amazon has built.
So what's that 40% all about? One third-party seller, a small business using Amazon's fulfillment services, reported saving over 40% on their total logistics costs. Think about that. By plugging into Amazon's advanced system, smaller companies get instant access to a world-class supply chain, letting them grow in ways that would have been completely impossible on their own. This is what people call the Amazon effect, and it's happening right here.
All right, our final section, the warehouse of tomorrow. We've seen where we are, so where is all of this heading?
If there is one crucial thing I want you to take away from all this, it's this. A modern warehouse is not a cost you should just try to minimize. It is an integrated, powerful system that you need to leverage. It is a source of immense competitive advantage. And looking ahead, we can already see a few key trends taking shape. Automation and robotics, they're only going to become more common, more integrated. Artificial intelligence will go beyond just forecasting demand to actually optimizing warehouse operations in real time. And we're going to see a much bigger focus on sustainability, with eco-friendly designs that cut down on energy use and waste.
And this all leads us to a final, pretty provocative question. As automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence all start to converge and get even smarter, what does the future of human work look like inside these places? Will the perfect warehouse of tomorrow even need people at all? It's definitely something for us to think about.